Hi, this is Cynthia Horner from Right on Digital, and I'm here with Devon, Greggory, and also Hosea Chanchez, my friend from the game.
Yes,
And I am
yes.
so happy to connect with you guys. And congratulations for keeping the game going. And
Thank you.
my first question is going to be for Devon, which is what was important to you in terms of the keeping the conversation going with the game? Because as everyone knows, this was a franchise that started a few years ago and it became a fan favorite, and then it changed from one network to the other. And so, can you give us a little backstory on um, where the game is in 2023?
Cynthia, you're being really, really nice when you say it started a few years ago. It started before I was even in the industry. Let's be real. I was watching it as a fan before I even had any idea that I could be doing this. So, props to Mara and Celine for creating such wonderful characters that could stand the test of time. And that's the thing about what we're doing, is that it's about the characters and the story. And we did something really unique in that we did not only tie into the stories of the present for the characters, we went back before the evolution of the show actually even began. And then we had also a wonderful opportunity to go back in that interim period before, when it stopped the first time after it was on BET, and then when we picked it up on Paramount Plus. So we dug into all of these stories. We dug into everything to come back for this iteration. And the thing that I enjoy, me and the writers, when we look at it, is that it is an opportunity to talk about life in the way that it is, not just how it should be, not just about the comedy, but life. In the span of a day, I find myself laughing and crying and hoping and angry, and that's kind of what the show is. It's an amalgamation of all of these emotions, and it reiterates that life can be multiple things all at once. And you ask how it happened or why it happened. I have to tell you, when I first was approached by Mara to do this, I was like, no, no, thank you.
What?
You know what? I'm gonna pass on that one, because it's like, wait a minute, why am I gonna touch the Mona Lisa? How can you make it? Look, it was a no-win situation for me, Cynthia. And Jose and I talk about this all the time. It was a no-win situation. If you do it wrong, it's your fault. If you do it well, of course you are supposed. And I literally said no, went off to do another show. That show didn't get picked up. I came back and CBS set me down and said, look, we really think you and Mara will fit well together. Go give it another shot. And I had worked with Mara on Being Mary Jane. So we sat down, we had a conversation, we laughed, we cried, we like, let's do this. And now you have what you have. And we were able to add, when she said, go and make it your own, that gave me the ability, it gave me the honor, it gave me the attitude to then make it into something else. And we call that familiar but fresh. It's familiar to anyone who's been there, seen it, coming into it with those old eyes, but it's fresh to anybody who's willing to give it a new look. So that's the story.
Wow.
Beautiful said.
That's such a great answer. Now, Hosea, now that you've heard what he has had to say, what is your take on what he said about making the show more his own, and the part about how he didn't want to necessarily do it at first because he didn't want to mess it up?
I've heard that story before. So I listen, I am one to give this man on the other end of this line is a maverick. He is, in my opinion, he should be held no different than the Shonda Rhimes and all, our Ryan Murphys. In my opinion, what this man has done, and I mean this humbly, and I've said this to him a billion times, and I haven't even had a chance to give him the fanfare from watching that episode last night. I believe this man is a genius. I believe that his talent, this is just, and this is not his beginning, but I do believe this is his new beginning. I believe because he was able to do what he did and all those challenges that he may have faced early on and those insecurities with taking something that was already a success on two different networks, I believe because he's done this so well, it's very difficult to do what Devon has done. He makes it look really easy. This man is hands on. He is boots on the ground from every single aspect of this show. This show, as beautiful as it is, as much as me and Wendy and the fans love it today, this is Devon. This show is him. It is his footprint. It is his imprint. It is who he is. Everything that you see this wonderful, and the things that you may not like so much about the show. Devon, we got to talk about how dark it is, brother. Okay, because I can see some stuff in there now, but still, it says him, and he made it his own, which is so difficult to do. I told him, I said early on in this process, Devon, you can yay or nay this, but I said, if you can pull this off, you are going to be in the history books, because like he said, it's very difficult to do what he did, but now that he's done it, I see his brilliance. I see his genius. I am so incredibly in awe of his skill set as a writer and a showrunner. But now as a director, this man can do anything. So everywhere I go for the rest of my life, I will forever give this man his props, because he has done a magnificent job with turning something, as we've seen two other times on two different networks, into what it is today. And I have to be honest, and I will be honest, because me and Wendy are the only two people that have done every single episode of this show. For me, this is the best iteration of the show. I love it. And I was in love with the first iteration and the second, because I'm an actor. But this place that he has us at now is absolutely wonderful, because it feels like we've been in a pressure cooker for a long time, going through different molds and different ways. And now I feel like we're at this diamond place. And I hope we get to do this, for 5 or 6 more seasons, God willing, and Paramount willing, Paramount Plus willing too. But even if we don't, I am so satisfied with the direction that this show has taken. I'm so satisfied with every single aspect that Devon has envisioned and executed. And so hats off to him, hats off to him, hats off to him.
Wow, that is the most incredible testimonial I have ever heard. Hosea, you are to be commended. The way
well, I mean it's from the heart,
it,
so it's easy.
I mean, I'm almost speechless, and I'm sure Devon is too, even though since you work with him so often, he already has a sense of what you would have said about him. This is great. Now,
you're a genius.
I love you, man. I love you, brother. Humble, I love you, man. Thank you so much, man. I love you too.
I love you too, and I'm not saying that because I want to direct 2 more episodes next season. You're embarrassing me.
The Mutual Admiration Society. Now, Devon, tell me, what is it like working with Hosea and Wendy, who's not here with us, as actor and actress on this series? Because they are the ones that kicked it off, and they've brought it home.
Absolutely. It's one of those, it's amazing, because again, you've heard the stories about actors and actresses over this, how difficult they can be, so forth and so on. I've seen it. I've experienced it firsthand. It brings me no greater joy than to work with Hosea and Wendy. They are the consummate professionals, but they are as much talent as they bring to the table. They are better people. And I know that may sound cliche, but it is so true. They set the tone. They are also given. They bring in the younger actors. They teach them. They let them grow. They listen. They are humble. They come to work prepared every day. They are just amazing to work with. And when we sat back and decided, because there was an in-between iteration of the show that didn't go back to the CW. It was an hour long where all of the characters had come back, and that one didn't make it for various reasons. And then when we sat down and said this has to be reimagined, who's going to be the core? And Mara and I came up with, it's Wendy and Hosea all the way through. It was for various reasons, not only because of their talent, not only because of who they are, but because of what they can teach and the legacy they can leave and help grow with the other actors. And they do that every single day. And I like to say that, and I know it's kind of Pollyanna. I like to say we're not just working, we're not just making TV, we're not just showing, we're doing life together. We spend more time with one another than we do with our immediate family. And that's the
Thank
truth.
God.
We're in Atlanta in this pressure cooker for months on end, and we're there with each other every day, and we're doing life together. And I got to say, as actors, as people, as creators, as artists, there are no two individuals that I would rather do life together than Hosea Chanchez and Wendy Raquel Robinson. They are absolutely amazing.
Devon, thank you for saying that. And Cynthia, before you say something, and I piggyback right on that, because I have to give Wendy her just due. Listen, this could have went any way. When I first got this job, I had actually tested for Derwin 2 times, or 2 or 3 times, auditioned for Derwin. Auditioned for Derwin 3 times, tested for Derwin 2 times, didn't get that role, tested and auditioned for Malik a few times. And that was at the time that CW was being formed, because we were actually on WB and UPN, and then they were becoming one. Let me tell you something. Had it not been for me being paired with Wendy, Wendy was my coach. Wendy was my she was the reason why I have the work ethic that I do have in this business single-handedly is because of that woman. She has been my guiding light throughout all of this. She is the reason I first invested in my first piece of property, the reason I saved my money to transition from iteration to iteration, and have not had to fall because of Wendy Raquel Robinson. She is one of the most stellar examples of what it is to be an artist and to be an actor. So I have to give her props, because being in her wings allowed me to take the flight that I'm taking today. So it's in honor of Wendy Raquel Robinson is
And
the
she's
reason.
undervalued and underappreciated. It's so sad. Like
Yes,
she should be on par with some of the top stars out there. She's the talent, the humanity,
absolutely.
grace, the wisdom, and I don't know why. I mean, we could talk about it for hours, but she should be on par with those top stars out there.
Absolutely. It's coming, Devon. It's coming.
I can't
and,
wait
and
for her
yours
to
too.
hear what
It's
she
coming.
says about you.
Yeah.
This is so great. Now, tell me, as men of color, what message would you like to impart to the younger generations that are watching not only the game, but other series that are on different television platforms?
Devon, I'll let you take that first.
Man,
Generation.
I am I'm I'm supposed to be a statistic, Cynthia. Like I often say, and I'm from a small town in Florence, Alabama. I grew up wanting to be Spike Spielberg. And everybody was telling me, Hollywood, what are you going? You can't, go here, go there, go to this college. And no one ever believed in the dream except me, my parents. And it took a lot of prayer and understanding to get here. So I would like to say to them, know who you are, believe who you are, and then go out there, work as hard as you can, have a dream, and make that dream come true. It's so often that we don't try to achieve the things that is implanted inside of us because we don't believe it can happen. And look, I didn't know if this could happen, but I knew if it could, then I wanted to come out here and try to make it. I came out here, I slept in my car, and I did everything I could to fight, scrap, scrape, and make it in this industry. And today marks a beautiful day in my journey. I know I talked to Hosea about this. I actually get to see my name on the screen written and directed by, which was the dream all the way along this journey. And it finally came true. So I would like to say, believe in who you are. Don't listen to the lies about you're not good enough, that Black isn't beautiful, that you can't make it. Don't believe any of that. Have a dream, work hard as you can, stay on your knees in prayer, and you can get to everything that you need to get to in this life. That's what I would like to say to you.
That's
That
brilliant.
is a great answer.
That's a mic drop. Yeah.
And Hosea, now that it's your turn, what would you like to say to these younger generations?
You know what, Cynthia? Devon and my story are very, very, very similar. I too am from Alabama. I'm from Montgomery, which is a far better city than the one he's from. That was a joke. I'll laugh. But Devon's like, no, I don't think that's funny. I'm from Alabama. I too, I was homeless when I first moved to California. I did not have no roadmaps for what I wanted to do. And I moved here with a dream since I was 5 years old, watching Eddie Murphy on Saturday Night Live, to which I found out later in life were actually reruns, and then watching Will Smith on Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. All I had was a dream, but somehow I knew that I would make it. I don't know why. I knew that the sacrifices that I would have to make would land me in a position if I just trusted God. One of the things that I will tell this younger generation, Devon gave great advice on how, on work ethic and things of that sort. But I'm going to tell you one thing that I think this younger generation needs to bring back into their lives every day, every second of every day, is the love of God, prayer, what prayer can do for your life. It is imperative today in order to make it. These kids, the younger generation of today, they are so fragile. They believe in me and my niece were walking up here today and talking about this soft life that everybody has now coined as a phrase in the younger generation, because no one wants to really work really hard. Some people are even intimidated by hard work. Who in the hell is intimidated by someone who's successful telling you to get off your ass and work? Well, I'm telling you, get off your ass and work. Stop complaining. Do less complaining, more praying, and more figuring out how you can be of service to someone else. One thing that's happened for me in my life, which is really wonderful at this stage, is surrendering. It's a daily practice. However, you have to have a relationship with God. You have to have a relationship outside of yourself and the physicalities of thinking you can do things in today's times. We are so fragile. COVID really broke a lot of us down. Most of us have been broken down mentally and physically, our minds, our bodies. We've become a weak race, human race. So it's really important to have a relationship with God, with the creator of all things, because I believe now you need more than just hard work. You still got to work hard to get to where you want to get to, but you also have to have a good attitude about life. You have to have a relationship with God, a good work ethic in order to be successful now, because there are so many avenues to doing the things that we want to do. There's so much competition now because it's not just an audition that can get you there. You have so many other ways that people are becoming successful. But guess what? The industry is not getting bigger. The industry may look like it is, however, so the industry is not bigger, but what's happening is there's more opportunities, but the opportunities are being spread out. So people like myself and like Devon, it may look like everybody's doing well, but a lot of us are still suffering, and a lot of us still are unemployed and don't have what we need to be successful and to make it in this industry. So I think, again, hard work, a good work ethic, obviously, and a great attitude and a relationship with the creator is most important. That's what I would tell the younger generation. Get closer to God.
Well, I think that you both have given really great answers, and I'm very impressed with what you said, Jose, about the work ethic, because I think a lot of people feel it comes easy. They'll look at a TV show or video and say, I can do that. They don't know that somebody might have been on a set for 16 hours, had no sleep, might have had a script rewritten at the last minute and had to learn those lines, et cetera, et cetera.
Dealing
So,
with all personal physical challenges to make those shows for months
right.
on end. You just never know. But everybody's going through something, Cynthia. That's the commonality amongst the human race, is that you don't know what it is, but everybody is going through something. So we must lead with grace. We have to.
Well, I want to thank you both for this wonderful interview for Right On Digital. And it was really great connecting with you again, Hosea and Devon. This was our first time actually having any interaction, but American Soul was the BET miniseries that included Right On Magazine in 2 episodes. And we want to say thank you for allowing our magazine to have that platform.
Hey, Cynthia, can I say one thing real quick before you go? This man, Hosea, directed episode 207, and for his first time on the floor as a director, executive producer, you know what I'm saying, and actor, doing all of that at once, he did a phenomenal. And you know what? Let me not qualify by saying first time. He did a phenomenal job by any standard, anywhere you want to place it. First times, 30th time, 100th time, he did a phenomenal job, and he should get some flowers for that. That is a great episode that he knocked out in episode 207.
Thank you. Thank you, Devon. I appreciate you, brother. Thank you.
No problem, brother.
And listen, you gave me my flowers when you allowed me to have breathing room. Because I'm gonna tell y'all something. Devon, like I said, he boots on the ground. He does not play about this show, every element. And I knew he trusted me when he gave me the breathing room to, to use my artistry and to take flight. So thank you, man, for setting me up.
I wasn't giving you breathing room. I had two scripts.
You were busy. I know.
Well, clearly, Devon knows how the game is played.
Yes, he does.
All right, guys.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, guys.
Have a good one. Bye, Cynthia.
I love you, brother, DG.
You too, man. Peace.
All right, man.
Thanks, everyone. Thank you so much, Cynthia.